Hello and welcome to True Potential, Leaders Not Followers, and a focus on building a business. So, something that financial advisors in all walks of life and all organisations everywhere across the market are super keen to do, which is take your business from position A and get it into a growth position. Okay, and it's very difficult, or people often struggle to really get into their minds how they can go about doing that. What I want to do in this session here is take you through how you can really focus on growth within your business, how you can pull customers in, and some of the tools that can really help you achieve that. And I want to try and put a structure behind that because it is really important that you can obtain a structure to delivering this. If you can do that, you've got a plan, you've got a model, you can roll it out, and that's where your success will come from. So what I want to do is I want to focus on certain key areas that I think will be of most importance to you. Um, so the first one is understanding the market. It's really important that you can understand the market that you're operating within, understand the problems that exist within it, but also the opportunities. In doing that, it can then help you define your goals, set up your business model to then achieve actually what it is that you want to do. Key importance is then implementing that strategy, which is what we're going to focus on. And I also want to look at some of the creative resources that we have here within True Potential, some of the things that you can use that can set you out and make you different. It's really important that you can differentiate in this market. If you can do that successfully, then you can be extremely successful in what you do, and that is something that we are expert at here at True Potential. Finally, I'll finish off with proof of concept. Just demonstrating to you some of the individuals that have done really well with what we do right now. So without further ado, understanding the market, we do a huge amount of analysis in relation to the market, trying to understand what is going on out there so that we can position our business correctly so that financial advisors that come into the organisation have got the ability to thrive. So there's three key areas that we've analysed, we've looked at in great detail where we see that there are gaps in the market, and gaps create opportunity for you. So the first one here that we'll look at, or just talk about quickly, is the technology gap. Um, the reality is that customers are using technology every single day of their lives. They're downloading films and videos to downloading films to view online. They're shopping online. There's more shopping online done in the UK than there is in anywhere else in Europe. We can look at businesses like Next that over a 3-year period pretty much trebled their share price. Why? Because they were able to implement a technology solution into their business that worked in the customer's interest. What we have here at True Potential, we have tools like Impulse Save, we have our apps, we have our connectivity to our customers, which we believe reflect the way that those customers live their lives today. We'll look at that a little bit later on and focus on it. But the key thing to understand is that there is a gap in financial services when it comes to technology and what's provided. And what we can give you here at True Potential is the ability to get hold of that opportunity and actually develop it yourself and have customers connected to you unlike they have been before. The next area, just quickly to touch on, is going to be the agility gap. So what we're talking about here is that savings typically are not easy to do for customers. Quite often products are quite complicated to understand, and as a result of that, that can put people off saving. One of the things that we spend a lot of time doing is lobbying government, going to Parliament and actually talking to government about how they can make saving easier for the UK consumer, which can then in turn help advisors advise customers on their goals, what they want to do in a really clear, transparent manner. Finally, the knowledge gap. Look, our belief is that empowered, successful individuals, people that are knowledgeable, will actually save more money, will invest, will look to achieve their goals through their financial advisor. So we believe that actually educating customers actually is hugely important. If you look at your customer base and you look at the people that potentially give you the most money or make you going to give you the value your services the most, they're the ones that understand the value of your services the most. They tend to be more educated in what they're doing. They identify that when a market goes down, maybe it's the time to put some money in, not to take the money out and panic in relation to that. So we do a lot of work with the Open University to provide clients with free training courses, free access to financial education, to help them improve their understanding and understand the reasons why they should probably be saving more than they are right now. The reality is that there is a big savings gap in the UK. That savings gap has ultimately been created because there's a lack of use of technology, transparency of products, and actually customers' ability to understand the reasons why they need to be saving today. Other issues within the market, and we can see what's happened in regards to financial advisors, which is, if we look onto the right here, FSA estimates December 2011, there was about 25,000 financial advisors operating within the UK, 8,600 bank advisors, and 4,000 there or thereabouts wealth managers. What we can see is that RDR, examinations, people have taken the opportunity to either not take their exams, get out of the industry. But we're in a position now where we have significantly less financial advisors operating within the UK than there were before. So this should present a great opportunity. What we've identified above is that there are plenty of customers, they need their goals achieving. However, there are less advisors to help them achieve that. And there's one thing that we know, where the scarcity of resource, it should generate demand. There should be no better time in the UK right now to be a financial advisor. The key thing is, how can I get out there? How can I get in front of those customers, demonstrate what I do? Because what you do brings a huge amount of value. And the key thing is finding that way of getting in front of them. I'll show you some of those strategies that you can use to get in front of your customer base. The next thing to really focus on is defining your goals and planning for success. So the key thing here is look, you need to start with at least some form of end in mind, okay? Start with the end in mind. So where do you want to be? You know where you are right now. Look where you are right now, but think about where you want to be. I wouldn't spend too much time thinking where I want to be in 20 years' time or 10 years' time. It'd be too difficult for you to understand, model, and plan that. But just think about, where do you want to be in 3 years' time? You can review your goals on an ongoing annual basis anyway, so that you can then start to see whether or not things need to be changed and updated. But the key thing is look, where do you want to be and what do you want to achieve? And what you might find through going through that process is that you identify what's really important to you. So is it career growth that you're looking for? Is it better customer relationships through that? Increased earnings potential, a better lifestyle? Okay, and it may be a mixture of all of those things, and there may be certain elements of those which are more important than others. But understanding what that is, okay, will help you then to start plan and start to build the right model and the direction of where your business is going to go. The other thing to note here, just the graph in the bottom right hand corner, the key thing that you are short on at all time, the most important resource to you is always time. Time is finite and it runs out. For people that want to get on, progress, improve, what you tend to find is that the profile of the high achiever, will often move more often than others. Because what the high achiever can do when they move and they make a transition in relation to that is that they're able to experience new things, they're able to develop themselves sooner, they're putting themselves in a position of stress, and in positions of stress we stretch ourselves. So if you are someone that is looking to move, get on, be really, really successful, consider that people that tend to move every 4 years and are able to progress in relation to that and get themselves into an up-curve position on what they're doing tend to get where they are much quicker than other individuals that stay longer in a job and the job kind of flatlines, it doesn't move really where it wants to go, and I stay on and I end up in a bit of a down curve in relation to what I'm enjoying, how my career is going. The key is get out at the top and move to the next opportunity, which can then take you to the next level in your career. So the key thing in all of this, it's all great talking about your goals and what you want to do, but you need to get it down in writing. You need to come out with a business planning solution in relation to that. It's really important that you can do that you get it written down, because only when you write it down will it actually come to a position where you actually then start to implement it and it starts to become real. So the key thing that you want to do is you want to identify what your goal is. Put that down in writing. Those were some of the ideas that you saw before on what could be achieved. Look at your target market. Look at the customers that you have right now. Look at your customer base, those people that you want to be engaged with. Okay? Identify who they are. Identify the assets that they have. Identify the needs that they may need. And document that down, because those are the people that are going to get you going straight away. On from there, what you then want to be considering are things like business development strategy. So these could be a number of things. These could be ways to generate referrals, ways to build your customer base through that referral process. It could be through running seminars, okay? Whatever that strategy is, and we are experts in building those business development strategies, and one of the things that we'll show you later on are some of the tools that we have within our business that will help you do that. But then that starts to give you, what I'm going to be doing in year 2. I've got my initial target market. I've captured those customers. Right. What am I then going to do with those customers to continue to bring in a flow of new customers, a flow of new business into my business for year 2, 3. And once you've done that process, it really is a case of sort of rinse, repeat. You can put that process in practice and it will just continue to deliver for you ongoing. Key thing as well is put in a projection, set a number that you want to achieve and go for that. If you can do all of those things, you are going to give yourself a much better chance of achieving what you need to do in the future. So we understand the problem in the market. We understand what we're going to do. We've written our business plan and what we want to achieve. The next thing is implementing the strategy in relation to that. So the key thing that we do, and the most obvious thing to say, but often people don't do, is contact your existing relationships. Everyone that you know, pick up the phone and start talking to them. You can see here that we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool. Connect into as many people as you can. In connecting with those people, they may well endorse you. In connecting with those people, you can then pick up the phone. Thanks for connecting into me. Just wondering how things are going. Okay? LinkedIn also gives you a fantastic tool in which you can see who else they're connected into. So potential other connections and other people that you may be able to link into at a later date or talk to who may want to use your services. But the key thing is connecting to these people, create that digital link between them and you, okay? And then what we can do is look to exploit it. And the reality of it is that the mobile phone today is the world's best app. Okay, there's all the apps in the market, there's all technology in the market, but the reality is there's no better way of generating business today than picking up the phone and talking to someone and explaining what you do. It's really as simple as that. The phone's developed over time to do many, many things, but the number one thing that's never ever changed is that ability to talk to someone that you potentially know or someone that maybe you don't know. So I often talk to financial advisors and I ask them, what do you do when you're talking to customers? How, you've dealt with a customer previously, you've moved companies, okay? What's your approach? What do you say? And often you say, look, I just call them up and, hi John, you probably know, but I've moved on from where I was previously, the bank that I was in or the financial advisory firm that I was in, and look, I really enjoyed working with you, and I hope you enjoyed working with me. And you kind of have an inkling that you've always got on well with them. And I just want to ask you a question. Look, are you being looked after right now? The reality is that most of those customers will probably not be getting looked after right now. And the reason why they're not being looked after is because you're not there. You were the individual looking after them. You were the individual servicing them. The reality is that they're no longer being looked after. There may be someone else that might be potentially coming in to look after them, but they don't know them. They don't know them like you know them. They don't have the rapport. You haven't built up the relationships that you've built up over time with those individuals. The other thing is that person as well also has previously existing customers. So if I had 100 customers that I was looking after, I leave, someone else takes over those 100 customers, well, they've probably got another 100 customers that's now got 200. How well do you think they're going to look after and service those individuals? Probably not that well. So the question of wanting to know if you are being looked after is a really powerful one to ask them. How do you feel? Are you being looked after? In most cases, I would guess they'll probably say no. And on that basis, what I'd simply want to ask them is, look, would you explore working with me? Okay, if I could demonstrate to you that what I can bring is superior to your present position. So I'm setting down the terms of engagement, which is, Only work with me if what I do is better than what you have right now. I would expect that most customers, if you have a good relationship, will give you the time of day for you to go in and demonstrate to them, show me why it's better. I actually quite like you. I've worked with you before. We've got a great relationship. I'll give you the opportunity. Let's have a coffee. Show me why it's better. We think here at True Potential we've got a fantastic proposition that wins business off everybody hands down. The scarcity issue within the market would suggest that most customers in that situation are going to say yes to you and are going to have that meeting. So don't be afraid to go back to previous customers, even after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The reality is that they will probably still remember you, and they will probably remember you as being a decent person that tried to help them. Just pick up that phone and ask them the question: would you explore working with me if I could demonstrate what I can bring to you is superior to what you have today? And most customers are interested in their own financial well-being, their own position. Those customers, when asked that question, I would expect a significant proportion would all be saying, yes, let's meet up, show me why you're better. On from there, when you get in front of the customer, what you need is a fantastic proposition to show them. We have an absolutely superb proposition in relation to what we do. I'm not going to go into the details of everything about it, but there's 2 key areas that I would focus on. The key thing when you present a solution is to make sure that you focus on where you're different from other people. Okay? Don't focus on where you're the same. You will just blend in. You need to differentiate yourself. There's certain key things that we do, and there's certain premises that everyone would follow anyway. So the first thing that I would be talking to customers about is understanding your situation. Okay? Understanding where you are right now and what you want to achieve. In making it personalized, bespoke, okay, in relation to that, we're going to get that information from the customer, and they're going to feel that the proposition that we're putting forward to them is going to deliver for them on a personal level. And most financial advisors would say, I do that, and I would agree that's pretty standard practice in relation to there. But then the next side of it is about then the differentiation. What do I do that's different from what you're getting right now? And the key thing about True Potential, we talk about we're beyond wealth management. And when we talk about that, and we're talking about beyond wealth management, we're talking about why we're different. And why we are different is that we can bring the technology to the customer for them to be fully engaged with your business. We have all the other elements. We have a fantastic investment proposition. Everything we have is absolutely superb. But the thing that we have over and above everyone else is that ability for that customer to connect with you, connect with your business on a 24/7 basis, and for them to be able to see the information on what am I worth, how am I getting on with my goals, how my investment's working. Okay? This is what customers want. They want the transparency. If you can be the person that can deliver it to them, that'll win you the business over the other guy that's giving them a yearly statement on a piece of paper and they don't really know what's going on in relation to that. You can give them a modern 24/7 service that will win business hands down. The key thing to do is in following that model and setting that up, what it will do is it will generate for you management information which you can use. So the point of having a customer connected to you is you can actually use that data to understand actually how often they're using the service. You know, if I was just using a piece of paper annual statement and going and seeing them, I can't really see them or engage. I don't understand. But if you were to look at other industries, if you were to look at Tesco's and Nectar Points and all this, they've got a full analysis of what you're spending, how you're buying, how you're engaging with the solution. Actually, in having that digital link with the customer, you can then understand how they're interacting with your service and if they value it. So I've hidden customers' names here, obviously for data protection reasons, but it's really straightforward. We can see client 1 here. This is over a 2-month period, has logged into their client site 91 times. I think it's fair to say that that customer quite likes being engaged with their financial position. Customer 2, 70. Even down to the very bottom on customer 26 there, who's logged in 6 times. So that's pretty much just shy of once a week. So if you were to project that out over the year, they'd have logged into their site 72 times, which I would call a regular customer, a regular user. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because if we look further and we connect customers into mobile apps, what we start to see is different behavior in relation to mobile apps and iPads. Now, I haven't presented any information on this customer base in relation to Android, but there's a significant number of Android users as well. All of a sudden, what we start to get is a huge picture here of how customers are actually engaging with you as a business. And then what would I do? Personally, if I was looking to grow my business and get it moving, is I'd start asking these customers for referrals. It's the biggest error that people make in growing the business. I actually spoke to an advisor this morning asking about a lead generation service, and I just sent back to him his stats on his system and said, why don't you call these customers and ask them, are they enjoying the service and whether or not they give you a referral? Dale Carnegie, one of the sales gurus over in the States, obviously historically, 91% of customers will give you a referral. They're using your services. You've managed to get them to invest money with you, but only 11% ask. Ask your existing customer base. Understand your existing customer base. Which ones are using your service? Who really like it? And then just ask them for a referral. And just a really, really nice courtesy call. As part of my service, I regularly monitor the interaction you have with my business. It's really important to me that you value the service that I provide and that I can see that you love to log in and view your investments, which is absolutely great. I love the fact that I've changed that and that's something you can do now. Look, can I just ask, do you have any friends or colleagues who might value the type of service that I provide? Knowing full well that they love that service and knowing full well in your mind that you know they're a great customer for you. Now, people hang around with similar people that are like them. That's why they become friends. So, in effect, what you're asking that person is, can you give me a referral to someone like you? And if they do, you've just got yourself a great customer and you've paid absolutely no money for it. The other thing as well, if you've just asked them and had a conversation about, have you enjoyed my service? Which all the customers would like to have. So just have those conversations. Look, I work on referrals. What does that mean to people when you work on referrals? It means that you have to do a good job. I work on referrals to grow my business and would love to build my business with clients like you in mind. Most customers with those sort of approaches, with the analysis and information where we know they're loving the service, will say yes and will give you a name. And if you repeated that over 10, 15, 20, 30 customers, all of a sudden, just by following that process, you are building your client bank naturally. This is not a difficult thing to do. It's just a practice that nobody ever does. Nobody asks. But the reality is that people love to help other people. People love to share those details. So just do it. And you make a huge difference to your business. I want to just talk about some of the resources that we have within True Potential, focus them on the gaps in the market that I was talking about before, things like the technology gap and the knowledge gap, and how also you can use these as differentiators and ways of getting into people, getting into companies, or just presenting yourself in a hugely professional light. So these are the areas: technology, agility, and knowledge in there. So some of the key areas here: partner websites, client websites, and mobile apps. I've talked upon some of these already and using LinkedIn, but I do want to just focus back in on these again because it's really important that you do so and that you can take this on board. Partner websites. Okay, you can have an online web presence with True Potential, hugely professional, loads of information there, personalized, people can put recommendations on there. I just want to make a point about it. Just because you've got a website will not mean that customers are going to straight away start coming and finding you, connecting into you. That is not going to get you business, okay? What it will do, however, is if you pick up the phone to someone and you say, can you give me a referral? Then what those people will do is they will look to investigate you online. They will then find you. They will find your web presence. They will find your website. If it's hugely professional in what it says and what it does and how it's presented, then that will validate the reason for them to give you a call and start to get involved with you. So don't use this. This is not a business generation tool as a standalone. This is a business generation tool that comes after you've made the call, made the engagement. People come back, they use it to validate, look at you, look at how professional you are, your reputation, and then on from there, they will then make a decision on whether or not they want to deal with you. It's pretty straightforward stuff, but hugely powerful in creating that professional front end. Client websites and mobile apps. So what we can see here again is this is the key thing for growing your business and why we are different. The first thing is that I'd say is that technology actually allows you to grow your client bank larger than maybe other people may be able to grow their client banks. Um, Basically because you may have customers that you can just service using the technology. Someone like myself, who's quite young, been brought up with technology, I'm less needy of having a face-to-face solution put to me. Okay, I probably would be quite happy with just connecting with you on my phone, sharing electronic messages, and communicating in that fashion, which means that you can service people like me. So when you're looking at things like intergenerational and money passing down from families, actually what you're doing is you get the parents connected, 65, 70-year-olds, okay? But they will also, that money will inherit, that will pass down, but getting those children engaged and connected as well is hugely important in that area. You're giving the next generation of customers that you're going to get the service that they want. Again, as I've shown before, you can get that data, that analysis from there, which you can then use yourself to help you grow your business in relation to that. But it's hugely differentiated in what this does. And then we have tools like Impulse Save, where customers can go onto their mobile phone, go into apps, click a button, and invest money. Okay, hugely different from anything else in the market, and a great way for you to service, look after, get referrals, and grow your business. Not something I wish we'd invented LinkedIn, but we didn't. However, nonetheless, it's something that we at True Potential are absolute experts in. Okay, we set up a business from zero. Okay, we've now got 44 million turnover, £10.5 million profit. We've got about 4,000 financial advisors that are either partners in the business or use our systems and technology and services in some way or other. Okay, that was from zero a little over 7 years ago. So the point is, in relation to this, is we are great at building business, networking with people, engaging with people, picking up the phone, connecting to them. The huge power about LinkedIn is that ability of me to have 200 connections, but then my friend that I'm linked into has 200 connections, his friend has 200 connections, his friend has 200 connections, and then we're in a position where exponentially we can then start to see and view business opportunities all over the place. So one of the things that I think is absolutely fantastic, if I'm connected into a company and I'm helping them with their business protection or something along that, but I'm connected into a company, what I can then do is I can ask that company director, I can see here that you're, A, B, C, D engineers, you're connected into them. Maybe, could I connect into them? Would you be able to give me a referral? Can you tell me a little bit about the business? Do you think that they'd value some of the services that I would provide? Okay, so really, really key. And this is kind of like the dead straightforward example of it. What I'm trying to say here is, look, those are Earl's connections on the far right. They're not mine. But through Earl, I want to talk to some of these people. Okay, so Earl, I notice you value the services I provide. Could you link me into sort of like-minded individuals in relation to that? I noticed you connected with John from ABC Engineers. Do you know if they have an auto-enrollment solution? Bearing in mind they have to have one. Maybe I could help them. What do you think? Okay, yeah, Nick, no worries. I'll give you an introduction into him. Have a chat with him. He's a good guy. I've known him years. You're a good guy. I've worked with you. Look, let's get that network going. So it's just a great way. It breaks down the barriers in relation to me connecting with people. It removes what was the opacity of the position and makes it 100% transparent who everyone else knows. Again, you still have to pick up the phone, but the reality of the matter is that you know who to target, who to go after, and who they know. Really, really important and really, really valuable to you when you start to use it properly. Okay, I want to focus now a little bit on the knowledge gap area and addressing some of the issues in relation to that. So we'll just talk quickly about goals-based planning, keeping your customers informed, open university, auto-enrollment, so on and so forth. So if you're still on the video, I'm surprised, but thank you for being so. So the first thing here is goals-based planning. Look, in focusing the solution down on them, on what they want to achieve, what they want to get out of life, and putting them plans in place where they have actual numbers and figures on what they're looking to achieve and what their outcomes need to be is hugely important for you. If you do that, you're delivering what they need. If you deliver what they need, then they will be a customer for life. And as well as that, again, you're putting your business in the strongest position to get referrals and continue to grow because you are offering a really good, tangible service. Other things that go aligned with that, a customer's connected in, he's got his goals, he's looking at his investments on a regular basis, but we also want to keep them informed. So we run out quarterly newsletters to customers on our advisors' behalf, explaining about different ideas, different thoughts, what's going on in the markets right now, but sending them out regular information so that, once a quarter they're touching base with your business. See, historically we'd have a situation where advisor would go out and see someone once a year. Now what we're able to do is create a position where a customer might connect with me and my business 50, 60 times a year using the client website, and then they can be prompted through blogs, prompted through other supporting newsletters and information to make them think about things that are potentially important to them, which may be business generation opportunities for you. What work do you have to do for that? You don't have to do any work. We will do it on your behalf, but what we're trying to do is drive the customer base back to you to have a conversation so you can sit with them and have discussions. Open University, something that we've spent a huge amount of time developing with a world-respected organisation. The key thing about this is, look, we believe that educated, empowered individuals are more likely to save money. They understand the value of doing it. Therefore, what we have done, we've invested a huge amount of time and money in providing free courses for the UK public in general. But it's something that you can talk to your customers about. Hi, I'm a true potential advisor. I'm a true potential investment manager. Look, let me present to you free training course with Open University. It's part of what I do. We've done your financial plan. We've got your goals. But it's really important to me that I can help educate you. That's one of my roles. If you're interested, let me sign you up onto this course here. If you decide to do it, great. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. But the key thing here is it's got some great modules in here about you understanding more about the reasons to save, invest, saving regularly, using a financial planner, managing your budgets, managing your money. And for customers that are engaged with that, it's just a great tool. If they don't use it, that's not a problem at all, but you've offered it. You've offered them something that's of value to them, and you've asked for nothing in return from that. People will like that, people will value that, and that will help build that rapport and that trust in that relationship. So absolutely fantastic solution that could be used much, much more to generate huge amounts of goodwill with your customer base. Other opportunities out there, auto-enrollment. True Potential, we have built our own auto-enrollment solution. Only through the fact that we build our own technology have we been able to provide a solution like this. You won't probably find anyone else in the market that has a true auto-enrollment solution apart from like the other master trusts out in there that sit within our sphere. But we've been able to come into this market because of the technology we built and provide advisors with a solution to go and talk to their business customers, talk to new business customers about auto-enrollment and the solution that we can put into their business. There's a huge issue in the market right now with auto-enrollment. The fact of the matter is that small businesses, 50 employees to less, are all going to be starting to stage in so it really starts to ramp up Q4 2015, early 2016. It really starts to ramp up. These customers have got to start staging their businesses. Otherwise, they're likely to get fines. If we actually add up all those numbers there, you're coming in at a little over 700,000 companies have to stage. We've already said before, there's only 20,000 financial advisors in the market. What we do know with auto-enrollment is that most customers don't understand it and are struggling to get on terms with it, especially the small companies. That's 35 customers for every single financial advisor in the market needs an auto-enrollment solution. There is an absolute massive opportunity there for you to get in, talk to businesses, talk to them about auto-enrollment. I wouldn't spend really much time on it in relation, get the solution in and we'll manage that for you. But get talking to those directors. It's a great way of getting into senior management within an organisation and dealing with their ISAs, their personal financial planning, their personal goals, and then using that as a referral opportunity to get into other businesses which we know will need this solution. Using blogs, it's something that I've seen people do on many occasions to try and generate information, to stay engaged with customers, try and bring in new customers. The reality is it's actually a hugely difficult thing to do. The reason why it's so difficult is it's about generating content. It's about generating new content on a regular basis. We have professional writers within our organization that will work with different departments of the business to pull together stories and useful information for customers. So it could be, as you can see there, views on China, views on Greece, what's going on in the Eurozone. It could be tackling the savings gap with the Open University. Okay? The point is, we will regularly generate content with professional writers that's relevant and interesting, which you can then use to pass on to your customers. Don't write it yourself. It's much too difficult. You want to focus on the customers, but you can use this information to pass on to your customers and those that find that the information may be useful. It's just another great way to have that engagement. Harnessing our marketing. Look, everything that I've shown you so far, there's obviously a huge amount of digital information and online, but we do provide everything that we do in hard copy format as well. So every single one of our customers will have a Beyond Wealth Management brochure, are given a guide to unwrapping your investment needs. So they've got a user guide on how to navigate around their financial planning site, their personal portal in relation to that. So fantastic tools, fantastic hard copies, unlimited in what's available for people. It just needs to be requested and then they can be provided at no extra cost to any of our partners. Absolutely fantastic tools and world-class marketing that we have here. So finally, proof of concept. I'm talking about growing businesses, but does this work? The reality and the statistics within our business suggest that it does. I've got here advisors from different organisations that have come across to True Potential. What we've done is we've looked at what their earnings were previously, and then we've then looked at what they're actually now doing at True Potential. So we can see there significant increases in income for people when they've moved from A to B. Now, bearing in mind that what I would say to customers is, look, only consider my proposition if it's better than where you are right now. Let me demonstrate that it's better than you are right now. So not only have we been able to put customers in a better position than where they are right now, because that's the only way that you can win that business, we've also been able to help put advisors in a better position as well with the business model that we have. We've recently launched an employed option, okay, and what we can see in relation to that is the self-employed advisors that we can see in the middle tranche had done the same amount of business, but under our employed contract, then we can see the earnings would have jumped again and made significantly more money for them. So it really is a very lucrative contract on the basis, though, that we put the customer in a better position. It has to be that the customer is in a better position. Otherwise, you just don't win the business. We're award-winning in what we do. So if you want to look at the awards, Money Marketing Awards, Platform Awards, Aberdeen Platform Awards, we're hugely award-winning business. And that comes from our innovation and what we bring to the party and why we're different from other people. Finally, the organisation is growing rapidly. We're on a £44 million turnover organisation with profits last year of £10.5 million, and those will continue to go in that direction. We have a business model that is fit for the future, that will help people within the organisation grow businesses successfully, grow customers, earn more money, offer better solutions for the customers, have better engaged customers with them. Okay, so absolutely superb solution. We would love to deal with and bring on as many people as we can within our business. Okay, that's what we're about. We want to grow. We want to bring on partners. We want those partners to take advantage of that issue with that scarcity and put customers into a fantastic position. So please do. I hope you found the session useful and some good ideas which you can take on board and use yourself. But if you do want to get in touch with us and find out a little bit more about how we can help you personally grow your business, put a plan in place for yourself, then please do get in touch. Thanks for listening, and I wish you all the best.